I did my African American art project on Horace Pippin. Horace Pippin was a painter, warrior, and military leader and lived from 1888 to 1946. Horace was born and raised in Westchester, Pennsylvania. As an adolescent, he got in trouble frequently and was considered a troubled child. Once he found his love for art, he became very well known in his community for his ability to make art. His mom was very ill and he had to leave school at the age of 14 to provide money for his family. He ended up joining the Army and fought in World War I in the African American 369th Infantry, also known as the Harlem's Hellfighters, which was a famous infantry and was awarded many medals. During his time in the war, his right arm was shot. He began to draw as a therapeutic outlet, which was the first time he had drawn since he was in school. For the rest of his career as an artist, he had to rely on his left arm. Only a year after his time in the Army, he married his childhood lover, Jenny Wade, in 1920. Horace Pippin painted things that he loved, whether that be people, places, or things, or even ideals. The first painting that really got people's attention from him was his John Brown Goes to His Hanging and the two other John Brown paintings he made in the trilogy. John Brown was an abolitionist who went on a massacre to try to end slavery and is depicted going to his hanging in this work. Pippin believed Brown's tactics to bring the light on slavery and how wrong it was successful, yet the manner he did it was horrible and cruel. This is Horace Pippin's Old Black Joe, the single piece of artwork that I've decided to do the project on. Old Black Joe is a famous parlor song from Stephen Foster, who is a white man. It is about an old slave who can't work anymore, and he is reflecting on his life and the other slaves as well. He is seen as a father figure to black and white children. In the background you can see a white mother, and in the forefront you can see Old Black Joe with the white child. In the painting, it's significant to see that the white child is tied to Old Black Joe, just like his life has always been connected to the cotton fields. I chose this piece due to the fact that I have actually heard the song Old Black Joe and have read the poetry. Old Black Joe is significant to slavery due to the fact that a white man wrote it and shows his empathy and sympathy for those who were slaves. This painting still has a lot of importance in today. It shows the freedom and ability to do anything you want to do now versus before, when many African Americans were slaves and had no ability to do what they wanted to do. It shows the cruel reality how African American slaves were bound to what they had to do. As in this case, Old Black Joe was bound to the cotton fields his whole life, and when he was unable to work, he was bound to the children as a babysitter. During the time Horace Pippin drew this, there was still a lot of racism. There still is today, but not as much as there was during the time of this painting. He thought of the progression mankind had made since slavery, and this was in 1943. Since 1943, there has been a lot of progression as well. Racism still exists today, but it is clearly getting better. Old Black Joe is an iconic piece of how much African Americans have progressed and how important freedom is to mankind as a whole. Freedom is everything. It is the ability to pursue your dreams and live life to its fullest. When Old Black Joe reflects on his life in the song, it shows just how important freedom is and how much of a difference it makes in someone's life.